Hey guys, it's Brittany. I am here today with my top 10 mass market tarot decks that I have absolutely loved in 2022. I wanted to wait until the new year to show y'all the mass market decks that I have used over and over again in 2022. They have been just absolutely wonderful and affordable and are totally worth it. So let's get started. The first deck I absolutely have to bring up. I know it's either people really love this deck or do not like it, but it is one of my absolute favorites. It was one of the first decks that I learned tarot on. It was the first ever tarot deck that I've owned. It was gifted to me by my husband, and I absolutely love it. It's the Everyday Witch Tarot Deck by Deborah Blake. It's just such a wonderful deck for me. Like I said, I learned to read tarot with this deck. The guidebook was so helpful and insightful. I know some people don't like it because it can be like a little kitschy with the pointy hats and the striped socks, and yeah, there's no body diversity. There's really no diversity in it at all. But yeah, it means a lot to me because it was my first deck. I learned on this deck. This is one of the creepiest devil cards. But it means a lot to me. And I always take it out and use it. I used it last year for my year ahead spread, which I decided this year that I'm not going to do. I actually really did not like doing this spread at all. Doing it at the beginning of 2022, and then what I did was I picked one tarot card and one oracle card for the month, and I put it all in. Let me show y'all in my journal. Oh, yep, I already took it out but I put it all in my journal, and I left a whole page so at the end of the month I could do a recap of what the cards, like how they showed up in that month. And I realized that I was dreading writing the stuff down. I did not like, the cards just didn't seem to really match up with my month. It just didn't work out for me. So I decided I wasn't going to do that this year. And it took a lot of pressure off of me. And that's what 2023 is all about for me, is going to be just freedom. The stupid pressure that I put on myself every year, and the guilt over the things I didn't accomplish, and so this year it's all about freedom of the unattainable expectations that others put on me and what I put on myself, because I think that's what's expected. And so yeah, I'm letting all that go. It felt really good not doing that this year. I didn't pick any goals for the year because either goals always end, or I just don't end up doing anything with them, and it makes me guilty and sad. And I did instead 2023 reminders, and I chose things that I just wanted to let go of or try. And I feel really good going into 2023 with that. Where did that tantrum come from? I don't know. Sorry. let's get back to it. So yeah, Everyday Witch tarot deck, one of my favorites. Okay. Second up is, this is one of my favorite decks, not even just mass market, but indie mass market, just from my entire collection. And that is the Tarot of the Abyss. It's in this beautiful case that my husband gave me, I think for my birthday. Oh God, it smells so good. Yeah, I love it. It's from True Craftworks. It's gorgeous. It fits this deck perfectly. It does not fit the guidebook, just the deck, but that works for me because I usually just put the guidebooks up over there, or if they're really small, just keep them in their boxes and keep them stored. So, but yeah, Tarot of the Abyss. I freaking adore this deck. The artwork is just so freaking incredible. Oh man, that is one of my favorites. The Awakening, which is Judgment, and you could see like she's shedding her skin and is coming out. Oh man, freaking amazing. Yeah, hands down, my absolute favorite deck of all time. I have not found a deck. I do think I have a deck that could, well, it doesn't compare or anything, but it's not mass market. It's my Forhaxa, which stays right here because, yeah, that has to be one of my favorites for the year. But anyway, I would say this is my number one deck. I used it so much. Look, oh God, look at that Ace of Pentacles with the seed and the roots and the tree and all that beautiful bounty. Freaking just amazing. I know, again, some people don't like black and white decks. I think this is more like monochrome-ish, but it doesn't need color. It's so freaking beautiful. I'm really looking forward to this artist coming out with a tarot deck either this year or next year. It's gonna be called the Tarot of Echoes, and it will be colored, and I definitely will pick that up. So yeah, Tarot of the Abyss by, I think, Ann Torian. My probably absolute number one favorite deck of all time. Mass market, indie, all of it. Just my favorite, and that's why it's in this beautiful, smells so freaking delicious, deck. Another deck I didn't know if I should put in this list, but I'm being true to myself because this deck, I used it a lot this year, and I saw, again, I feel like I've heard so much mixed stuff about this deck, but yeah, I love it. And it's the Modern Witch Tarot by Liminal 11, Lisa Sturl. And this was a deck that I used a lot in 2022. It's not easy to shuffle at all. If I want to shuffle this deck, I either have to split it into two, and then even then it's still really hard to bend. Those. But or are you just gonna have to shuffle it this way? It's just so hard to shuffle, but it's just so easily readable. Like you can, I mean, obviously it's just a Rider-Waite Smith clone, but with tons of diversity. Well, I do say it has a more female energy about it, but I mean, everybody, if you're on my channel, you probably know this deck, have this deck, seen this deck. Oh, I think I saw one of my favorite, the Hermit card, one of my favorite cards. But yeah, I'm being honest. I could have picked so many other decks, but I was like, no, this list is the decks I have used all through 2022, and I could not make this list without this deck because it's just so easily readable for me. I have no problems just picking this up and going, not needing the guidebook. So yeah, the Modern Witch. 3 down, 7 to go. I feel like I kind of have a theme here. This is the Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot. This is a Ulysses Press deck. This was really great deck to read for my friends with, although I'm not gonna lie, and I know it might sound weird to personify your decks, but she's mean, guys. Every time I would pull this deck out, look at these backs, aren't these cool? And give a reading, she was mean. Shuffles so nicely. I feel like some of my friends, especially one of them, I don't know why I pulled this deck for him, because this is definitely, you know, it's a more female energy deck, but he was asking about just like relationships, and it tore him a new one. I'm not gonna lie. It was not nice at all, and I was like, I'm just gonna be real with you, that this is what this deck's saying, and it was not nice. I mean, he didn't talk to me for like 2 weeks, but I mean, it's not my fault. I was just being honest and telling you what the cards were saying. So yeah, this deck is brutally honest and just freaking gorgeous. Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot. I read for myself, I read for friends. It was a great deck this year, well, last year. The deck, and I'm realizing now, you know, all these decks I pulled all year long, and these were like always my go-tos. It wasn't my, you know, beautiful indie decks that I would always grab to read for others, to read for myself. It was these mass market decks. I feel like there was just some wonderful ones that came out this year. Some of these are not even from this year, you know, but it's just the ones that I used this year. But yeah, the Crow Tarot. This deck I keep by my desk for work. I work from home. I work just right over there. And this deck stays over there. It's a wonderful deck to read with for work, for financial stuff. It just gave off a great energy for that stuff. This is the Crow Tarot by MJ Cullinan. I really love collage decks, and I specifically absolutely love MJ Cullinan. I've mentioned the Forhaxa Tarot already, even though it's an indie deck, but it's one of my absolute freaking favorite decks of all time. And I knew I had to try this deck, and it's been freaking wonderful. It's precise, to the point. The crows give you wonderful messages. It's easy to read. Yeah, it was a great one this year. It's gonna go right back over to my work desk when this is over, because it did me well this year. I just love having decks in my hands. I can't stop myself from just wanting to shuffle when I have a deck in my hand. Okay. Up next, another tried and true for me this year. Again, this did not come out this year, but it is the Dream Keepers Tarot. I do own the Mystical Moments Tarot, but I reach for this one instead. Dream Keepers Tarot is just, it's so freaking beautiful. It's so dreamy and soft, cloudy. I am air sign, Gemini, so I resonate with this deck a lot, and I love it. I know I've shown this deck before many times on the channel, but I mean, like I said, I'm being honest. I mean, look at this tower. Y'all see that? It's freaking amazing. These 4 of Cups. Look at those clouds. Yeah. Absolutely incredible. Look at that 10 of Wands. I love it. Any kind of like dream readings, or what other readings? Any kind of readings I want to do for myself when it comes to my family. I always pull the Dream Keepers. I'm looking at Mystical Moments up there. I never reach for that deck because I have this one. Yeah. Another one. What am I at? Let's see. I did 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, I'm going fast. That was 6. So up next, number 7 is my Ask the Witch. And this is what I'm saying. I feel like I have a type. I love this freaking deck. It definitely has a like a cosmic feel to it. The guidebook is really freaking cool because each of the witches in the deck, they tell you the witch and the story behind it, so it's a lot of fun. I did not realize that I was going to just fall so in love with the colors. Look at these colors. Freaking amazing. Let's see. That is the 2 of Wands. I have the guidebook right here. It's nice. I just want to see. A miniature world floats in the palm of the Witch to the Two of Wands. A scene filled with encounters and places to explore open before her. If the imagined world is to become real, there must be a careful planning. Knowledge and outside air must be allowed to filter into the intellect, to limit impulsive action, and to guide enthusiasm in the right direction. This card symbolizes departure and access to bring our dreams down to earth, step by step. The Witch's spells. Positive, planning, departure, important decisions. Negative, fear of change, hastily made plans. Pretty good. I think it was just the major arcana that has a it's just the major arcana that has a witch assigned to it. Like strength is Joan of Arc, which is Q, Holda, Ceridwen, Sedna, Baba Yaga, Biddy Early, Lilith, Hecate. Yeah. So each of the major arcana has a story and a witch to it. It's so great. I don't really use the guidebook much when I work with this deck, but I really should. I should use it more. Look at that. Yum, yum, yum. I love it. Up next is Fantastical Creatures Tarot by Lisa Hunt. I wanted to pull the Ghosts and Spirits, but I didn't because while I do love that deck, I don't use it as much as I use the Fantastical Creatures Tarot. I freaking love this deck. It is so gorgeous. The size is perfect. It fits freaking perfectly in my hands. Look at those backs. Beautiful. The artwork is absolutely stunning. My only complaint would be, even though the I personally love borders, I don't have a problem with them, and these borders are really pretty, but the artwork looks really small, and I wish we had just the artwork. But I get it, because it's like the art is contained. Oh, so freaking gorgeous. The Eight of Wands. Three of Pentacles. I mean, it's so good. And I'm not usually great. I like animal decks for oracles, but I did show the Crow Tarot, but that's different. But just animal energy, I really love it, but it doesn't always read well for me, but this deck does. I can get so much from, I mean, the Hangman and its Medusa, that's not just freaking incredible. I mean, right? I love this deck. And even though it's just a little white book, this guidebook is actually pretty freaking great. Like, Five of Swords. Let me show you what it says. You can't tell. I just always love to read guidebooks on my channel. And it's the Kappa. The Kappa of Japan is a tricky, dangerous creature that lives in seas, rivers, and ponds. This grotesque little man wears a tortoise shell on his back and has fish scales on the exposed parts of his body. His most distinguishing feature is the circular depression on the crown of his head. The Kappa waits in his watery home to drown his victims. The only way to defeat the Kappa is to trick him into spilling the water from his head, as without it, he is powerless. The Kappa can also be tricked into telling his secrets about healing and bone setting. Divinatory meanings. This could be a time of betrayal, misfortune, and loss. Stand up for yourself in a dispute. Magical issues. Use this card to reveal an untrustworthy person. Freaking awesome, right? Just want to... So, like, I'll shuffle. Beautiful. And oh, I got the Hangman with Medusa. Amazing. And I will read to you what that is. As a beautiful priestess in the temple of Athena, Medusa was seduced by Poseidon, thus profaning her religious position and the temple itself. As punishment, Athena changed Medusa into a terrible monster with snake scales, hair of writhing venomous serpents, a protruding tongue, and a deadly gaze that turned humans into stone. Fun fact, there are other theories that say Medusa was actually taken advantage of by Poseidon. He forced himself on her unwillingly, and she begged Athena to turn her into this, so it never happens again. And I personally really love that theory, just because, you know, it shows, you know, her turning men into stone and taking her power back. So yeah. In this card, Medusa sits along a path bordered with large rocks. The spiral at her feet anchors any forward movement. The spirals on the rocks are half-formed, presenting no clear patterns to follow, but many possibilities. Medusa's stare has frozen all ability to see what needs to be done to break an impasse. One must wait, endure, and learn patience. Divinatory meaning. Everything is frozen. A barrier in your life keeps you from moving forward, living through tremendously stressful conditions, but managing to survive by waiting for the right time. If that's not so true, and what I'm trying to work on this year. Magical uses. Use in spells where you need to freeze someone's actions. I love this deck. I really need to use the guidebook more with it. I might take it tomorrow. I am meeting my friends at the coffee house, and I promised them that I would bring a tarot deck to read for them if one of them will buy me coffee, so I might take this deck with me, actually. All right, up next is going to be the Sacred Sisterhood Tarot. I just did a reading for myself today with this. I decided to, I think it's over here. Let me get it. I pulled out the Way Anchor Tarot Spread book, and I thought since it was the new year that it would be really fun to do the full spread. And I used this deck, which has been on my reading table because I've been using it so much I found that after I had my daughter, I kind of like, not kind of, I just lost myself. I became a mother, and I didn't know how to be anything else at the time. And I didn't really realize how much it affected me years later, until I could finally get out of that mindset that, you know, I'm not just a mother, I'm a person, you know, and I had to find myself again. And I found that this deck really speaks to that part of me, about just like taking back myself. And this deck, when I do readings with it, the messages come so clear, and they just speak to a part of me that was lost for a long time, that I'm finally getting more in touch with. So this deck has been really meaningful for me in 2022, and I will continue to use it. It was the first deck I thought of to use this year, beginning of 2023, and the full tarot spread was freaking great, because something that me and my husband were talking about was trying new things, you know, we kind of get set in our ways a lot. This year, well, last year especially, you know, we'll get off work, he will cook dinner, we'll watch a TV show, I will go into the room and read or journal, he will go into the computer room and play video games. And yeah, we were just really set in our way in 2022. And this year we want to try new things, go out more. And this spread really called me out on that, because first thing it says is, you know, what is a new experience you can dive into head first, and then what to be aware of for that, and how to bring more joy. And it was basically like, yeah, you need to connect more with your friends. And so that's why I texted them, you know, because we're in like a group chat, and I was like, hey, who wants to have coffee with me tomorrow? And they were all like, oh my gosh, yes, I need this, let's go. And gave me great advice. So because of that awesome reading, I am meeting up with my friends. We usually always meet up once a month, but just because, you know, we all have family and stuff. So this is just kind of an impromptu get together, and I'm really excited about it. So thank you, Sacred Sisterhood by Ashani Dubari. Illustrated by Connie Curry, because the illustrations are freaking gorgeous. Okay, the last deck that I wanted to talk about is the traditional Manga tarot. I love reading, I love watching. No, I love reading manga. I watch a lot of anime, and this deck is freaking awesome. It is absolutely gorgeous. Some of the cards do have a lot of RWS, and then some cards are not, but mostly yes. Like, look at this Queen of Wands. It has everything. It is bright, sunflowers, cats. I mean, that hits it all. And it's so wonderful. It gives great readings. You know, I'm like, should I take this one? No, I won't take this one, because none of my friends watch anime, so it would go over their heads. The artwork is just so freaking gorgeous. They won't appreciate it. Love it. You know, I've always just taken this deck out and worked with it, if that's not Nine of Swords. I've never actually did work with the guidebook this year, funnily enough. Oh my god, look at that Ace of Wands. I don't know why I'm surprised. I mean, I found that this has been a great deck for new moon and full moon readings. And it stays in this area. It's very small. It's a low Scarabeo deck. So it's a great little size. It shuffles freaking awesome. Look at that, lovers. So beautiful. I'm gonna read from the guidebook. Yes, Olivia? Okay. That was my daughter. Just wanting to say hi, I guess. And, oop, two came out. The Devil and the King of Wands. Look at that Devil. Oh. So let's see what the guidebook says. I really do need to read the guidebooks more and not just on my channel, because I feel like that's the only time I ever look at the guidebooks is when I'm talking to y'all. I'm horrible like that. Okay, let's do the Devil first. Okay, so maybe this is why it's not that great, actually. Major Arcana, and it just has just a few little... So, like, the Devil is secrets and lies. And let's see what the King of Wands says. Typical low Scarabeo. I say that, but, I think Fantastical Creatures is low Scarabeo, isn't it? No, it's just US games. It's not. Never mind. Erase that. But this is a low Scarabeo, and the guidebook sucks. King of Wands is living as a father. Okay. But I bought this for the artwork, and it's totally worth it for the artwork, especially if you are into anime and you like to read manga. It is perfect for that. The traditional manga tarot. Manga. I don't think there's any real wrong way to say it. Okay. Well, that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That was 10. That was all 10 of the top 2022 decks that I have used this year. Some honorable mentions that I wanted to show, but I didn't because I did not use these decks very much, was the Zodiac Tarot, which I just recently got, but I could not put it on this list because I didn't use it. So I don't know how it reads or how it's gonna go for me personally, but it's so freaking beautiful, but I have not worked with it yet. This would be a great time to bring this out though. Maybe for, should I use this for my full moon or my new moon readings? I plan on doing that this year. I got this incredible planner that shows like all of the zodiac through the year and the moon phases, and I'm just gonna try to incorporate that. I mean, we'll see how it goes, but yeah, I'm thinking maybe new moon. Another deck is the Fyodor, I think it's Fyodor Pavlov And again, it's mass market, but okay, well, it's not very affordable. It's the most expensive mass market deck I own. But again, I haven't used it yet, so I couldn't put it on the list because it wouldn't be fair because I've not used it in a reading yet. So awesome guidebook though. But once I do, maybe it'll be on the 2023 mass market roundup for the year. We'll see. Well, thank y'all so much for watching. Bye, guys.